Hello, my lovelies. My name is Nadia Rice and I welcome you to my channel from Sydney, Australia. Today we will talk about 12 houses of horoscope. And it's all about connection between astrology and tarot. Why we are doing that? Just because my horoscopes will be based on tarot. So taroscope is horoscope which is done with the help of tarot cards. But before we start, I would like to mention that if you have a look at the astrological chart here, you can see 12 houses of horoscope. The house system divides astrological chart into 12 parts, each of which governs different area of your life. And this one is tarot representation of the same chart. When I do taroscopes, I get one card into each sector of this chart, and we will have a look at your different areas of life. But before we start, we need to understand what each house of astrological chart about. As you can see, we've got thread. Thread is the fire element, and Aries, Leo and Sagittarius are fire signs. Green is earthly element, and Capricorn, Virgo and Taurus are earth zodiac signs. If you have a look at the yellow, you can see Aquarius, Libra and Gemini, and these zodiac signs are air element. And speaking about water element, have a look at the blues. So Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces are water zodiac signs, water element. It's very important. Just because some elements are friendly, as for example earth and water, and some signs and elements are not so friendly, as for example earth and air elements. Not so friendly. Anyway, let's start. The first house of horoscope, Mars in Aries. So basically meaning that Aries is ruled by planet Mars, and Mars is a planet of action. So the first house of horoscope is all about your core identity, your zest for life, your goals, your personality, your physical appearance, your character, your energy type, your sense of independence, and your ambitions. The second house is Venus in Taurus, and the second house is all about money, possessions, movable property, how healthy your relationship with money is, your sense of self-worth, your resources, your confidence, your personal values. The third house is Mercury in Gemini, and the third house is all about your communication style, your body language, how easily you learn, how you gather and share information. This third house is also about your short trips, your siblings, your neighbors can show up here. And the third house is all about your life in primary school, your learning, your ability to learn. Yeah. The fourth house is all about inner self. Your home, your family, inheritance can show up here. This house is also about your innate talents, like gifts that you were born with. The fourth house is also about domestic life, your private life, early home life. The fourth house is also about family of origin, places of origin, ancestry, parents. Pregnancy can show up in the fourth house as well. And the fourth house is all about the need to have a safe place to return to in order to feel safe and stable. The fifth house is Sun in Leo, and the fifth house is all about children, but not just your children. It's about your inner child as well, your hobbies, your talents, basically about everything that gives you pleasure. So it's a house of pleasure and, rest, leisure. Lovers and romance can show up in the fifth house. And the fifth house is also about creative activities and passion. What passion do you have? It will show up here. Interestingly enough, gambling, competition, stock exchange can show up in the 5th house as well. The 6th house. The 6th house is all about your work, daily routine. Your colleagues can show up in the 6th house. The 6th house will also show your special skills. And in the 6th house, you can see health-related issues, and it's also about your pets. The 7th house. It's all about partners and partnerships. So what you seek in partnership, what kind of person you see as your partner. And we are talking here not about just intimate relationships, but about business relationships as well. And growth that you actually can get through this kind of relationships. The 8th house is Pluto in Scorpio, and it's very complicated. It's all about what comes up when we fuse with others. So it's about your partner's money. It's about shared resources, how you use shared resources. Superannuation, different kinds of allowances will show up in the 8th house as well. Big money, big money will show up in the 8th house, just because it's not your big money, it's not the money that you earn, but you get it as windfall. The 8th house is also about powerful emotion and transformation, need for sexuality, for sexual intimacy. Unfortunately, the 8th house is also about dangers and crises and wars and response to death as well. So shamanic realities could show up here as well. And criminal activities and legal matters can show up in the 8th house as well. Let's move on. The 9th house, Jupiter and Sagittarius. Jupiter makes everything bigger, expands. So this house is about traveling, but not short trips as we had in the 2nd house, but trips overseas or going to another country for higher studies, traveling far away, basically. And this house is about adventures and desire to travel and learn new cultures, explore various religions and beliefs. And this house is also about your philosophy and ethics. Let's continue. The 10th house, Saturn in Capricorn. The 10th house is all about your career, ambition and public role as well. Who you are and what you do. In the 10th house, we often can see how your parents influenced you, how they influenced your choice of career, how they shaped you to be out there in the world. So it can show up here in the 10th house. The 11th house, Uranus in Aquarius. And this house is all about your tribe, your group of people that you like to spend time with, like-minded people. So friends, groups, associations, political, social, cultural views also can show up here. Your future goals can show up in the 11th house as well. And the last house, it's very important house. The 12th house is Neptune in Pisces, and the 12th house is about all hidden secrets, secret affairs, secret of birth. This house is also about solitary places like prison, hospitals, monasteries. Loneliness can show up in this house as well. But on a positive note, this house is about spiritual growth, your life path and karma, good karma or bad karma. So it's about experiences that can lead you to the source, can lead you to the life of service, can transform you. And the 12th house is about illness or sickness or disease that was there somewhere there for a very long time, but could not be diagnosed. All secrets in the 12th house. Thank you so much for watching.